Hello all, this is David from Sunward Hobbies, here to provide a quick tutorial. Today I will be showing you how to take apart and put back together a standard airbrush. So if you'll follow me to the back, I will give you a valuable life lesson. So here I've got the Vigiart HS82 dual action siphon feed airbrush. I feel this is a good simple example of how to take one apart and put it back together. It features a 5mm nozzle, so that's not too small. And of course, siphon feed means that it comes with a cup that attaches to the bottom of the airbrush. Thus, it would suck the paint up through here and spray out. And of course, all airbrushes come with a little wrench so that you can unscrew the intricate parts. So when taking an airbrush apart, you always want to start from the back to the front. So first you unscrew the back end of the body. Next will then come the needle guide. And then the needle itself. Next, you will unscrew the spring case. Yeah, this part takes a little while. Next, the spring itself. Then comes the needle chuck guide. They all feature this little swivel part at the front that kind of holds the trigger in place. And then of course the trigger. So the back end is done. Now you can move over to the front and take off the needle cap. Then after that, the nozzle cap. And then here's where your wrench comes into play. You need it to take off the head cap. Always remember, righty-tighty and lefty-loosey. There's your cap, and there's your nozzle. Oh yeah, and there's also the part that the hose attaches to, but you don't usually have to take that part off unless you've got a big maintenance issue with it. So that's how you take one apart, and basically it's just reverse engineering to put it back together. First, of course, you start from the front end this time and work your way back. First comes the nozzle, then the head cap, we gotta make sure that nozzle is aligned properly. Take your wrench again to make sure it's tight, but don't over tighten or you can screw up the threads. Then the nozzle cap, and the needle cap. And next up, you take the trigger. Some triggers, they make it a little tricky by not really making it clear which end faces which end. This one, I don't think it'll really matter. If you can see that hole in there, that's where this peg is supposed to fit in. There we go. Then next, you put the needle chuck guide back in. It helps to put it in on an angle like this so that this part stays upright. Push it right up against the trigger. Then the spring goes on. Then the spring case. The thicker end of the case faces towards the front. And just keep turning until you start to feel some resistance. Then the needle. Be very, very careful on this part as needles are very fragile and tips can bend pretty easily. And the needle should just slide right in, but if you start feeling any resistance with the needle, pull it back out, maybe add some lubricant. Never force a needle in. And there goes on the needle guide. And lastly, the rear part of the body. And of course, if you were spraying, the cup just attaches to the bottom right there. So there you go. I hope that helps anybody who is a beginner at airbrushing and wants to get into it. It might seem a little intricate at first, but if you're used to it, like me, you could literally do it with your eyes blindfolded. So I hope that helps. Thanks for watching, and until the next one, adios.